Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. On the day we launched our second Sudoku hunt over on Patreon, an absolutely intriguing puzzle hunt, Sudoku hunt really, that a lot of people are enjoying already, so I do recommend it. It is largely behind the paywall, although you can read the kind of introduction and have a go at the first puzzle in front of the paywall. So have a look at our Patreon site. Actually, we think it's worth joining. And that's quite exciting. Now, there's also going on this weekend the Sudoku Grand Prix, the German and Dutch round. Some excellent puzzles. I had a go at it this morning. Was quite pleased to get all but 3 puzzles down. That's a decent pace for me in the 90 minutes. So, if you really have time after our Sudoku hunt, or if you stop that for a while, that's another thing you could be doing. It's not all about competition, though. I think in both cases, the puzzles are quite rewarding in themselves. And talking of that, brings me on to what we have today. Now, Philip Bloom from Germany is a keen correspondent with us. He sometimes sends us puzzles and sometimes he recommends other people's. I'm honestly not sure what's the case here. I don't think this is Philip's own puzzle because he publishes under the pseudonym Glum Hippo, and this one was by Michael58, I think. So I don't think it's by Philip. I'm not 100% sure. Apologies to whoever it's by for not knowing one way or the other. Now, the rules are these. As well as normal Sudoku rules, we have a Latin square, which intriguingly connects with today's Sudoku hunt. But anyway, the grey cells represent a diagonally situated Latin square of the numbers 1 to 5. That means that if you consider this as rows and columns, obviously they're all on the diagonal. So this is one row, if you like. Each row and column of this grey square, looking at it from the side, contains all the digits 1 to 5. And apparently that and the givens that we've got are all that's needed to make this solvable, which seems astonishing for just 12 givens. But there we go. That's what we have today, Michael58's Latin square puzzle. Do try it on the link below the video when you have time. And I'm going to try it now. Let's get cracking. So, where do you start with this? There's so little given. I guess, effectively, the grey cells are the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so in the middle here, the whites must be the other numbers, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, if we look down, for 5 of these boxes, which I will try and shade, they consist of 4 grey cells and 5 white cells for all of these boxes. The 4 grey cells must be in the numbers 1 to 5. Yeah, actually there's 5 grey cells in the central one, and in the others there's 4 grey cells and a given in the range 1 to 5. So all white cells which don't have numbers in those 4 boxes must contain the numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, and they're clearly going to form a whole bunch of quadruples in rows 4, 5, and 6 and columns 4, 5, and 6 of the Sudoku grid. Now, better than that, in rows 3 and 7, look, here we can eliminate 8 and 7, which are in the same row, and suddenly we know that's a 6, 9 pair. So we can take 6, 9 out of the other cells in the box, and that's a 7, 8 pair. And there's a beautiful symmetry about this. Oh, I missed one of them. That one should have had 6, 7, 8, 9 in. So now I can take 8, 9 out of those 2. This is an 8, 9 pair because there's already 6 and 7 in the column. So that must be a 6, 7 pair because there's already 8, 9 in the box. Look, we can keep going round the grid doing the same thing. What a weird setup. And it's clearly been done very deliberately so that one can do that. Now, if we look across row 4 and 6, in row 4, we've got a 6, 7 pair. So that leaves us with an 8, 9 pair for the other 2 cells. In row 6, we've got an 8, 9 pair. Same's going to happen, obviously, to me in columns 4 and 6, a 6-9 pair there. And in column 6, we have a 7-8 pair. So now we've reduced every one of those cells we were talking about, the white cells in those 5 boxes, to just a pair of the digits between 6 and 9. And I don't see how we can reduce them further at this point, which is annoying. Okay. Can we do some ordinary? We've only got one each of the digits 1, 2, 3, and 4, and no 5s. Oh, we can do a bit of ordinary Sudoku. Yes, look, 8 here. 8's in one of those 2 cells. So in column 1, 8 has to be either here or here. And look, actually, it can't be in this row because that's a 7-8 pair. So there can't be another 8 in that row. So we can take that one out, and 8 is in the corner. And I have a feeling this is going to work for every digit from 6 to 9. So, 8 there, right. So 9 here, 9 in one of those 2. 9 up here is in one of those 2, but there's an 8-9 pair there, so it's not there. We can put 9, sometimes we do put 9 in the corner. Now, for the 7s, 7 there, 7 in one of those. These are a pair of 7s pointing at that, so 7 in column 9 must be here. And I know this is going to be a 6, but let's just prove it. 6, 6 in one of those, and a 6 pair pointing at that. So this is 6. And that doesn't, brilliant, doesn't take us any further forward. Puts the corner numbers in the whole grid. I'm going to have to do something with the Latin square itself now. Okay, there are no 5s in the puzzle. And the thing is becoming so astonishingly symmetrical. Even look at this little pattern in the central 4 higher cells. One each of 6, 7, 8, 9, but in totally different combinations, so you can't really resolve them. Now, what I was going to say is 5s. There are no given 5s. Now, yes, okay. Those boxes that I highlighted earlier, obviously, this is Sudoku, each of those boxes must have a 5 in. Therefore, that's 5 5s, and they must therefore appear in the grey cells that in the area I've highlighted. Therefore, these cells are not 5s. But I think the 5 is going to be in the center. Now, why am I so sure about that? I think you can't have an arrangement of 5s in this Latin square setup without a 5 either given somewhere or in the center. Is that right? I think that has to be right. Now, why do I think that? Yes, here's why I think that now. Now that we've eliminated 5s from these cells, there must be a 5 on this diagonal, and it must now be in one of these 3 cells. And the same is true over here. There must be a 5 on this diagonal, and it must be in one of those 3 cells. So those 3 cells need a 5, these 3 cells need a 5, it must be where they intersect. So that's a 5. It's not quite... My mind was telling me it had to be a 5. I hadn't quite done that logic, and yet I was sure it was going to be, because of the astonishing symmetry that we've got going on in this puzzle. So 5 is now in one of these grey cells, can't be in those 2 because of that 5. And we can do the same around the grid. I don't know. Actually, yeah, those 5s are pointing at those. These 2 are pointing at those. So that's going to happen all the way around the grid as well. 5s in the corner boxes are going to be in those cells in some pattern. I'm not sure that really helps anyway, but so we're going to have to take one of these numbers and consider what's going on. So where can we put 4s? Okay, look at these 2 lines of the Latin square, if you like. So there has to be a 4 on each of them by the rule about Latin squares. So in this one on the northeast, one of these three must be a 4, because there can't be a 4 by Sudoku rules in the last two because of that 4. Now the same's true for this line, the sort of second one in from the northeast. So there must be 1 4 in that group, 1 4 in that group. Now there can only be one more 4 in these three pointing southwest rows. We know that there are 2 already in this group of yellow cells. Now the remaining cells in that area can only have 1 more 4, because there's only 1 for that line, 1 for that line, 1 for that line. So this area of yellow cells I've highlighted only has 1 more 4, and it must be in box 4 here, because that needs a 4. So we now know that these cells are not 4. And that's really useful, because where does 4 go in the central box? Not in one of these 2 cells, because we've just worked out why they're not 4. Not in this cell, because it can see that 4. So 4 must be there. It must be right. Now, those 2 we also worked out weren't 4. Now, that same relationship must... So actually, given just normal Sudoku, one of these 2 is 4. And that works for the relationship we had going on up there. Now, actually, yes, so we said one of these is 4, one of these is 4. And now we know one of these is 4. That's 3 4s. Now, if you consider these 3 lines of the grid, we've used 3 4s already, so we can't have any more in them. And these 2 cells, therefore, can't be 4. Actually, we've worked that out. Yes, they're not 4. So where is 4 in this line? It must be at the top here. So that's a 4. And I'm sure this is going to work throughout the grid. As we go around it, we can make that relationship work again. So for 3s, it's going to be the same principle. These can't be 3 because they're in the same box with that 3. Therefore, for the kind of rows going northeast up the grid, those 2 sets must both have a 3. Therefore, in the rest of these 9 cells, there must be only 1 3. It must be in this box 8 down here. Therefore, this isn't a 3, and this isn't a 3, and this isn't a 3. So let's take 3 out of those 2 cells. And in fact, given that we know there's a 3 in the grey cell in the central box, we could have done that much quicker. That 3 is seeing those 2. So that's a 3. Let's carry on with that logic. This is a 1 because it can see 2, and that's a 2. So we've got those placed. And now, yes, now let's revert to thinking of this Latin square. 1 5 3 4 must need a 2 to complete it. 2 5 4. We've got a 1 and a 3 to come in. This one can't be a 3 for the logic we've just worked out, so that's a 1. That's a 3. Now, can we just finish off the Latin square just like that? Not sure. It's very hard for me to visualize these kind of Latin. Where does 4 go, say, in this run? Moving down the wrong key. In that line of the Latin square. Well, it doesn't go in. Yeah, that's great. Look at that. In that line of the Latin square, 1 cell has got a number in it now, and 3 of them are actually able to see different 4s. So the 4 must be here. So weird, actually. Now, that's 3. Where's the 1 going to go in this? That's the right question. Where does the 1 go in that line of the Latin square? Well, not here or here or here because of these placed 1s. So therefore, it goes there. This one, I presume, is the 2. I'm not quite sure which way around we're going. I think this will be the 2, but how can we see that? Well, now actually, yes, sorry. Yes, so we're looking at this row of the square. which one can be a 2, not that one, or that one, because of these placed 2s. So therefore that one, and this one is going to be the 3, because in this row, 3 is looking at both of those 2 outliers, so 3 is there. Now we've got 2 and 5 to put in this row, and there's a 2 in the box, so we can do that simply. Clever puzzle. I mean, this is just fascinating. Now, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5 to go in up here. Now, just by ordinary Sudoku, this is seeing a 3 and a 5. So that's the 4, that's the 5, and that's the 3 for any number of reasons. And we can finish off the whole Latin square relatively easy if we can visualize it all. And there we go. That is the Latin square done. Lovely symmetry here. Now, 4, 4, so, and that 4 stops that being a 4. So 4 in there. Following 4s round the grid. Let's go the other way. Yes, 4 there, 4 there. One of those 2 is a 4, and that one tells us 1. So we can put a 4 in there and there. And that's resolved the 5s that we planted earlier. They just fall out like that because that 5 sees that 1, so we can take that out. That's why 5 went in there. That sees that 1. 5 in there. That sees that 1. Get rid of that 4 as well, just to get rid of the corner pencil marks. And then, well, I don't know, 2 is ruled out of there. 2 is ruled out of there. So we can put 2 in here. 2, 2, one of those is 2. I should have gone the other way around. 2, 2, 2 in column 2 must be here. That makes that 2. And 1s, yes, that 1 now has to put a 1 into column 9 there. That puts a 1 in row 1 there. And that finishes off the 1s. I must have missed a 3 or 2. 3, I mean, I'm sorry, I must have missed some 3s. Let's put it that way. 3 there, 3 there, 3, 3, 3. And now, look, all these corner boxes now only have one cell left to fill. So 7 there, 8 there, 9 there, 6 there. Those are all looking into the pairs of higher numbers. 9 is looking at that cell. Looks at that one. That 8 is looking at this cell, which looks at that one, and that 7 is looking at that one. It's very pretty, this. So I can just fill in the rest of the numbers in these rows and columns by ordinary Sudoku now, or basically any way I like. Something might have, yeah, something has gone wrong here. That's absolutely embarrassing. I think that 8, 9 pair I put in, I've done something wrong there. Let me take that out. Hopefully we're still alive. I think I must have typed an 8 at one point when I meant a 7, because I think this solves the puzzle. So first of all, I'm just going to check I've done the Latin square right. 2, 5, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 2, 5, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1, 5, 4, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 5, 4. And it looks right the other way. Yes, and then I'm going to check that I've put everything in the grid right now. I haven't, because there's 2 8s. Oh man, what did I mess up here? That is not meant to be an 8. Wow, I really have done something wrong here, haven't I? Got 2 7s over here. So I did type a 7 wrongly in one of these. I'm sure I did that now. So we've got problems there and there and there. This is suddenly a ridiculous exercise in undoing my stupidity, and I do apologize for this. So this one, I think these 9s are wrong as well. So that 7 needs a 9 and an 8. Let's put them that way round. This 9 and 8 go the other way around. No, that's not, can't be 9 and 8. This should be 9 and 7. Yeah, there we go. I think that has fixed it all. But that's embarrassing. I'm sorry about that. I typed the wrong number in earlier. It threw me out when I came to enter these last couple, and then that threw me on those. I think we're right there. So I checked the Latin square. I haven't changed any of that. I'm going to now hit the check button for the whole grid. Phew, bit of a rescue there at the end. But that is a really nice puzzle. I mean, it was very easy to finish off, little harder to get started, certainly for me. I hope you enjoyed it. It's certainly an unusual one, nice way of thinking about things. A Latin square, by the way, is the name for any arrangement of digits in which the rows and columns contain one of each of the digits. So this is a Latin square times 5. And of course, Sudoku itself is based on Latin squares of 1 to 9. And I'm very proud of the fact that in the Magpie Crossword magazine, we actually mentioned the word Sudoku after a puzzle based on a Latin square by Euler, the wonderful mathematical pilot Alistair Cuthbertson. And in his solution notes, he mentioned that these Sudokus based on 9 by 9 Latin squares were becoming very popular in Japan. And it was a year or two after that, the Times brought them over and popularized them in the UK and then in the rest of the Western world. So we like to think we were a bit of a forerunner. We called his Latin square quadratum, which is a name you might recognize from the current Sudoku puzzle hunt, which I recommend you to try on Patreon. That's a little diversion. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic, and bye for now.